and a commercial jet crashing into one of these towers. At this point, we do not have official injury updates to bring you. We are only now beginning to
and wondering, gee, that looks awfully big to be one of these little planes. And then I saw the second plane coming around, and nobody said a word. This was on Channel 1, NY1. And then they woke up when it was about, a few hundred feet from the building and said, wait, there's a second plane and it's aimed. And that's all as far as they got. And wondering, gee, that looks awfully big to be one of these little planes. And then I saw the second plane coming around, and nobody said a word. This was on Channel 1, NY1. And then they woke up when it was about, a few hundred feet from the building and said, wait, there's a second plane and it's aimed. And that's all as far as they got.
And I turned my car down a one-way street, and I got to the stop sign, and I saw one tower on fire. I said, oh my God.
The north one there?
The bigger one.
Yeah.
The one that's higher up. And then I saw a plane behind it with a helicopter following it, and he was way too low and too close. He was going over the river. And he was way too low.
Like the East River or the Hudson?
The Hudson.
Yeah.
And he was coming from behind the tower when there was a helicopter trailing him. And then by the time I got here, it was 2 minutes. And then as I'm pulling down the street, 1010 Wind said, we heard another explosion. Did anybody tell us that was on the plane?
See, I was having coffee on Humboldt Street in the back.
To vote. And just before I was leaving the house to vote in the primary, I happened to hear on WINS radio that something had hit One World Trade Center. So I turned my TV on. I was watching and listening and wondering, gee, that looks awfully big to be one of these little planes. And then I saw the second plane coming around, and nobody said a word. This was on Channel 1, NY1. And then they woke up when it was about, a few hundred feet from the building and said, wait, there's a second plane and it's aimed. And that's all as far as they got.
Billowing out of the, I would say it's about 15 stories down from the top of the number 2, I believe it is, World Trade Center. Flames are coming out also. This apparently was a commuter plane that smashed into it with such force that the windows of the Pick-a-Bagel, in which I was just about to buy a bagel, smashed with a big bang. Everybody was very frightened, and it sounded like a fabulous explosion. And indeed,
towers, and I looked up, and the side of the World Trade Center exploded right when I looked up, and at that point, debris started falling. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Can you hear anything from your position right now? Ambulances, sirens?
Absolutely, positively. There are crowds of people downstairs in Battery Park City. Everybody's come out from the buildings. This is the financial area in Manhattan, and there's a lot of fire engines. I can see them from my window.
Jean, can you tell us, I don't know if you can tell which tower it is that's on fire right now, or the kinds of services that are inside that tower?
I can't tell what's inside. It's the northern tower versus the southern tower, and it seems to be on all sides of the building. From what I can tell,
Oh, that's it. Oh, shit. Something, a big ball of smoke.
Oh, shit.
Huh?
Oh, shit.
Oh, you see it on television. Yeah, this could be a lot of deaths.
This is blend, man. Oh, shit.
This one did it on purpose.
Okay.
A black plane. Yeah, we see it going around. He went. Yeah, we just saw that.
Huh?
He did that on purpose.
I can't hear you. They're talking so loud. What? Yeah.
We sitting there looking.
The other building.
They hit both things. Like it's on fire. Yeah, we see it going around. He went. Yeah, we just saw that.
Huh?
He did that on purpose.
I can't hear you. They're talking.
At 59th Street in Columbus, and I have a clear view of downtown, and I can see the towers. And I was in my living room, I was getting dressed to rush in here, and I saw one tower, it had all the smoke. And then I saw another plane that was really close, and it went behind, and you can see it doing a turn. It was turning its wings, and it went around, and then I saw it go into the other tower, and I saw a big pool of flames just come out, and there was a big explosion. I didn't hear anything, because I'm at 59th Street, but you could see it, and there were flames, and there was so much smoke, and you can see that it was an entire different building. But I saw it was a different plane.
So two different planes?
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to have